Okay, good evening, everyone. We're continuing with 3 minutes of Tehillim. We're up to Perek Tzadi Gimel, Psalm 93. We're continuing in the fifth book of Tehillim, which the fourth book of Tehillim, which we're now in a bunch of the prakim are surrounding this Perek, and other prakim are used during Kabbalah Shabbos, Friday night, and also many of them have a connection to Shabbos itself. This Perek Tzadi Gimel, we're familiar with because in addition to being used Friday night, it's actually also the Shir Shal Yom for Yom Shishi, for the sixth day of Erev Shabbos. So each of these prakim, we're trying to look at what could we see as a connection to Shabbos. So the Perek begins with the first pasuk, Hashem, Malach Geus Lavish Hashem, Oz Yisasar Aftikon Teva Batimot, that Hashem is clothed in Geus, which we would translate when it comes to human beings as gaiva or haughtiness. So how do we understand this when it comes to Hashem? And in what way does this have to do with the Messianic era, which some Mefarshim explain that this is sort of the revelation of God, which will come in the end of days, will be he'll be clothed, he'll be robed in Geus. So when it comes to man, when man has gaiva, has arrogance, it seems contemptible and really silly, because every gift, talent, skill that a person has was given to him by God. So, and you see yourself as significant or haughty and or more important than other people, it's contemptible. It's a bad midah, because you're seeing yourself as independently significant outside of recognizing that it comes from God. But when it comes to Hashem, the source of all, so Geus would probably be most appropriately translated as grandeur or pride or majesty. So Hashem, when we understand at the end of days, we'll see the truth, we'll understand what is the emes in the world, we'll gain a better understanding of the revelation of God's truth and His grandeur. What is the connection to Shabbos? So the Malbim comments in this Perek, there's a lot of references to water and nature. Nasu naharos Hashem, Nasu naharos kolam, Mikolos mayim rabim adir mishpirei yom. All these, the voice of Hashem is heard even louder than the roarings of the rivers, and Hashem's voice is heard out of the waters. What is this talking about? So the Malbim says there's really two kinds of revelations of Hashem, Hashem's being or grandeur of Hashem in this world. The first is the natural order, the teva of the world. We can see Hashem through Teva. We can see that there must have been a creator, there must have been something, because this is incredible. It's a revelation of God's chachma through the natural order. But then there's also the supernatural. And that's what is Ma'ala min HaTeva, that Hashem is beyond the natural order. The supernatural, Hashem is living as He came down, revealed at Sinai, or living in the Beis Hamikdash. So that's really what these two different revelations are about. And there's really the last pasuk, Edosecha ne'emu ma'od. These are the testimonies that are very trustworthy. What does this mean? It's referring to these two sort of revelations of God grandeur, the revelation of God through the natural world and revelation of God through the supernatural. And where is the place which bridges these two together? Shabbos. Shabbos, as we transition from Erev Shabbos on the sixth day, which we said was the Shir Shal Yom that we read this Perek in, we go through twilight into the Shabbos, we bridge the Chol to the Kodesh, we bridge the revelation of God during the rest of the week, which is the day of the natural order, the week of the natural order, moving into Shabbos, which is Ma'ala min HaTeva, when we reach a Kedusha, which is beyond. And that's specifically why Friday night in Kabbalah Shabbos we read this. That's why there's both the natural and the supernatural. They all meet on Shabbos.